Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today, I'll be talking to a very good friend of mine who invited me over to Bahrain to come see the good work they're doing in Bahrain for people living with sickle cell. He's Zakariya. He's chairman of the Sickle Cell Society in Bahrain. He has done so much for people living with sickle cell, and not just for individuals, but for the community. I was blown away when I went to Bahrain to see all his work. And what is even more fascinating, he's also a warrior himself, and he's used his own healing to heal others. Meet Zakariya. Welcome everyone to Painless Universe. As you can see, I'm absolutely delighted to have my dear friend Zakariya all the way from Bahrain. He's the chairman of the Bahrain Sickle Cell Society. I've done my introduction, but I want you to meet him. Thank you so much for joining me.
It is my honor. Hello, everybody. Yes, it is my honor to be with my best friend and my guru, best guru, uh, uh, Lady Anne.
Okay.
I'm very touched when I be with you in anywhere, and every moment I be with you, I learn something.
No, you are truly amazing. I love the way you welcomed me when I came to Bahrain. But before anyway we get into that, I really want to know, everyone will be asking me, who are you? And I want you to share your story about who you are. Because you're not just a chairman of the Sickle Cell Society in Bahrain, you're many more things. Could you tell us a little bit about your story?
I am a sickle cell warrior. I'm 47 years old. I have two marriage and with a lovely wife, Nabila, and two son, Ibrahim, who is 19 years, and Elias, who is 14 years. I have done my master degree from Glamorgan University, Cardiff, and doctors told me that I'm not going to live till 42,
Mm.
but I'm 47.
Oh, gosh.
I promise my family I will live till 75 with happiness and succeed.
Mm.
And uh, I worked, when I start working, my family is working as a business part because I start working with them. They do business, I mean, travel business, taking people to holy places. Then they have another sector which take people to different area of the world. And they deal with the only full luxury accommodations. And they have done the transportation business, so they have a very huge company, run buses from Bahrain to every area of Arab country, like to Yemen, to Saudi, to Syria, to Iraq, to Egypt. When I am the oldest, the older boy or for my father, so I should take care of that business. I say no, I don't want to go for business. I don't want to work for business.
Mm.
I decide to go and to help my colleagues with sickle cell. I say business, I have another or younger brothers who can do and continue the business. So business is not so to me. I don't see myself as a businessman. I'll, I found my happiness helping my colleagues. That make my sleep in peace.
Mm.
I wake up in happiness and joy. And when I decide this, I sat with my wife. At that time, my two son was very young. Uh, we negotiate this. Are you sure? Are you with me in this? Because I shouldn't take a decision by my own. if you are not happy, I'm not going to do it. She said, yes. I said, we will not get that income like my brothers. You will live in my retirement monthly wage. He said, why? It's fine for me. Said, I will live in a flat, not in a villa like my brothers. He said, fine. It's fine for me. Then we decide, both of us, to do this. I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy because I left the wealthy side of, I mean, the opportunity to be rich. I said, no, I don't want. I don't want to be in that part.
Wow.
And I'm rich now, rich with the people of Bahrain. People Bahrain trusted me to do, uh, to speak in behalf of them in front of my governor, in front of my leaders.
Yeah.
People come to me to ask me to talk in behalf of them in front of our king and our prime minister. So this part, I think, God giving me this part. I'm very grateful to God. I'm receiving this. Yes.
No, no, I think your story is really one that's really beautiful because you've not just used your, you know, your illness to separate, to find your calling. But I want to find out when you truly found out you had sickle cell, how did you take it on and how did you learn to live with the condition?
I think at the beginning I was fine. I was in peace because I suffer a lot in the childhood. My father took me to a different area of the world just to treat me, to remove this pain, but unfortunately it is there to exist.
Mm.
So I was not able to walk properly like others. So I was getting some difficulties to join others' child, and other child is attacking me and squeezing me like, why you are walking like this? So later on, I uh, I joined. I decided to go for medical school. I went to India and said I will do medicine. So first year is fine. Second year we were doing very great. Then at the end of the year, when we're going to write our exam, the court came and look down the college, and they said I think there is a problem, political problem between the owner of the college and the government. It's a political side. So they asked us to go and to register in another university.
Mm.
So I said, let's go to the court order because to the court to take an order because I don't want to do the exam because I have done very good, very great in the first year and second year. So I don't want to write exam again. So I went to the court to get an order to let me continue from the third year, not the second year, not that from the beginning. And I saw a girl, a Bahraini girl. She was studying with us there, in different college. Now she is a doctor, consultant. And I proposed her.
Wow.
Uh, my friend came to me and said, unfortunate, both of you are a sickle cell, and this is not fit. She refused to marry you because you are a sickle cell and she is a sickle. So I went to my God. I said, "Why you have done this to me? During my childhood, during my schooling, during my, I never complained. But when I ask something for my heart, you do this. I am the least of your people to do this for me." So I was very upset with my God. I said, "Why you have done this?" I think I didn't spoke to him for for 2 years. I think later on, after 10 years, when I decide from that date, after 10 years, I decide to found this Sickle Cell Society, Bahrain Sickle Cell Society. I said, let's call everybody who is with sickle cell. So I said, we need a doctor. So she is a doctor with sickle cell. Let me call her. So she was with me. I mean, in one of the trip to the Mecca to do Umrah or Hajj. She was with us in that tour. So I asked her, I'm planning to do a sickle cell society. She said, yes, very good. I mean, this is wonderful, amazing. Said, how you are doing with sickle cell? She surprised. What? Sickle cell? What's sickle cell with me? I don't have sickle cell.
No.
I said, are you sure you are not with sickle cell? She said, no. I said, I'm happy now. I married. I got my Ibrahim at that age. But let me ask you, what happened at that day? Because my friend, Dr. ABC, said, you are with sickle cell, that's why you refused me. I said, no, I refused you because you were a naughty boy, walking with your, I mean, with the proudness of your father money. You were not that man. I can I can speak as I mean, look at you like a husband. You were a son of that rich man. I don't want you at that time.
No.
So I felt very shameful to speak to my God. I didn't speak to him for 2 years. For what?
Yeah.
Then if you look to me today in Bahrain, who is Zakariya? Zakariya, after this is now 28 years. This story now is 28 years. After 28 years, who's Zakariya? Zakariya is a son of that rich man, or everybody knows what is my degree? I am a master degree or not? No. Uh, I am rich or poor? No. They know me as a sickle cell warrior. I hold #1 in Bahrain. I am a leader of 9,000. The things that I was not talking to my God because he put me this illness, and I felt like I am the least of the people. Now he made me the the guy #1, and this is a gift. He made me a leader before even to realize I am a leader. He made me a leader. So he was taking care of me all the way. So I should appreciate.
Wow. And that's really an amazing story. But one thing that fascinated me when I contacted you was the numbers of sickle cell in the Middle East, especially Bahrain. You hear about sickle cell, the first thing that comes to people's mind is African-related disease. That is just the Africans that has it. And then we started talking, and you told me about sickle cell in Bahrain. Could you just shine some light on sickle cell in the Middle East, especially Bahrain?
Yeah, Bahrain, I think when in 1957, I mean, this illness is there, I think, decades. I mean, thousands of years is there, but nobody knows it is as a sickle cell. I think it is only 100 years when they name it as a sickle cell. In 1957, I think malaria at that time happened. At that time, we were Bahrain managed by British, the Great Britain at that time, management. So the malaria reached to the Bahrain, and they found there is 500 foreigners who got malaria. So suppose the residents of Bahrain or citizens of Bahrain, they get more. They were found, they found it is only 25, comparing with 500 foreigners. So the governor, British governor said at that time, is there a cure or something secret? Why is Bahraini people, they don't get malaria? So they took a sample of blood, different sample, they sent it to Britain. So they found it as a sickle cell. So we realized from 1957 it is sickle cell, and we start to know as a sickle cell, and we call it a sickler. Everybody said it's sickler. So maybe in other country they don't accept to call people with sickle cell, to call them a sickler, but in Bahrain, because we open our eyes and our hair with sickler, it's fine for it. We don't feel that it is a stigma. We have a 9,000 sickle cell, and I think we have another 65,000 carrier, sickle cell carrier gene. In our neighborhood, it is the same percentage, 3 to 5% of population, they got a sickle cell. And another 20 to 25% of sickle cell carrier. So we are a highest carrier in the world in this region. In Saudi Arabia, they got another. They registered 140,000 people with sickle cell. So in Bahrain in 2006, government decides to reduce the newborn of sickle cell, because it costs us the cost is very high, because you lose your people, young people, and you broke families. Story doesn't end up when you lose someone. I think the tragedy start when you lose somebody, because this family will suffer for 10 or 20 years before his boys to get older and to recover the family financially or socially. So they decide to do the screening and pre-marriage test in 2006. At that time, we were having 4 newborn every 100 with sickle cell. When people of Bahrain decide, I don't believe that the only regulation made Bahrain to succeed, because of grandmother of Bahrain made the success. It's full story. When the grandmother decide to stop this pain to continue in her family, so she asked any couple to get married, to go and to do the pre-marriage test. And unfortunate, I'm not saying I'm fortunate, I'm happy with this. The test is not, if I have done the test, it is just for the information, but it doesn't prevent you to marriage. You can continue, but the grandmother, she decided to take this part. She stopped, and she fight, and she resist, these kind of marriage.
Mm.
So in 2010, we had 2004, 2006, we had 4 new sickle cell every 100. 2006, we had 4 every 1,000. In 2014, we had 6 every 10,000.
Wow.
And still, we are working very hard with the grandmother of Bahrain to reach to 0. We hope we will reach.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I was blown away when I came over to Bahrain, and it's your quality of care. Not only is Bahrain suffering and having sickle cell sufferers, but your quality of care is so well thought of. How did that come about that people that are suffering from sickle cell have this brilliant quality of care? What happened? How did that come about?
I think the understanding, the more we talk to each other and we trust each other, the caregiver and the patient. When we went to His Highness Prime Minister, and he asked me, what you are doing with sickle cell? How do you feel pain? And he listened to us patiently, and he scheduled me every week to see me and to hear the story, the full story. I mean, he didn't take a decision with one meeting. He said, I want to see you every week and to ask you more and more. I want to understand more about this disease. I want to solve up the problem. And when he asked me about the medicine, I said, there is no cure for this. I mean, there is no such things that end up this illness.
Mm.
The only it's care. He said, let's call everybody on one table. So he made the patient, which is me, and the caregiver, and the policymaker, decision maker, and the university who do the researches to sit on one table. Talk now. Let's see how you can do things better. By his leadership, everybody was understanding this illness need to understand before to do an action.
Mm-hmm.
So we understand we need an easy access to the emergency.
Mm.
So we have easy access to emergency. Within 6 minutes, you see a doctor. Within 25 minutes, you receive your treatment. You receive your care. And within 25 minutes, doctors will decide either to admit you to hospital or to discharge you because you had your painkillers and you are stable, or to keep you for 8 hours under observation. And amazingly, we reduce death reduction. We had death reduction 62% death reduction. The age average jumped from 42 to 55. Now we are talking about 65. And number of percentage of using or admission, 90% reduction. Number of days hospitalized from 21 days to 5 days. It is not only easy access, it is comprehensive care. Comprehensive care starting from primary care, like receiving your vaccination, regular checkup for the tooth and others. And we have multidisciplinary clinic. Because we face different type of challenges like complications of sickle cell. People never die of sickle cell.
Mm.
People die because of the complications,
Mm.
side effect of sickle cell.
That's true.
But so we need an ortho, we need a surgical, we need an cardio, we need a gynae, we need all different therapists, so different specialties. So we have a multidisciplinary clinic started in 2012 immediately after we meet Prime Minister. And patient will see 13 different specialist doctors within 2 hours every 8 weeks. And this team of doctors will sit together after that 2 hours and will tailor our own plan. So every individual sickle cell patient has their own individual plan, care plan. So we know their management, pain management, what type of care and what type of surgical or what type of medicine he might need. And that's why we made our quality or health qualities being improved.
Yeah.
And how much it cost Bahrain? Nothing more. Actually, it cut cost. It saved lots of money.
Wow.
And it is not only comprehensive. When we say comprehensive, it talks only about medically. When we say comprehensive, means socially and schooling and college and finding jobs and improve the regulation to protect our rights. So during the schools, they don't count number of attendance. And even if I escape classes because I'm in a hospital, there is what we call it a school at the hospital, minor school. We use smart tools to let this child to continue his study while he's sick with the technology, and he can write his exam visually, not by written. And also finding a job is a challenge. So we said, let's bring some opportunity to our sickle cell patient to experience to start their own business, micro business at their home. While they are on hospital, they can run their business from their mobile. And socially, we made like retirement, early retirement. They can go for early retirement even if he work for 1 year, he can, or even for 6 months, he can go for retirement. It is 40% of his salary. The number of sick leave, we usually, for other people, they get 24 days sick leave annually. For sickle cell patient, they get 24 plus 60 days. After, if I finish that 24, I can go for 60. Then our Prime Minister said, "No, let's add another 30 days." So in total, I have 114 days annually sick leaves with pay. So I don't have to worry that somebody will cut our salary.
You know, in Bahrain, so you work with the federal, you work with the ministers, Minister of Housing, Minister of Health, you know, all ministers, you all work with them for them to better understand sickle cell. How did you incorporate that they understand what we're going through?
The beauty of Bahrain story, the leadership of His Highness Prime Minister, he made the access to the other ministers. You can, in Bahrain, either you are in touch with the Prime Minister or not. In Bahrain, it is easy to get engaged with any minister. You can call them, you can WhatsApp them. So myself, I WhatsApp ministers like Minister of Education, Minister of Labor, and Minister of Health and Social Affairs also. This costs lots of time and will bring more understanding. So I meet them every week. We talk. And I don't say that when we talk, we agree totally and we are fine. No. There is sometimes conflict because everybody, uh, uh, will protect or will defend of his area. And this is extra work, actually. I bring more work to these ministers.
Yes.
For Ministry of Housing, he want to understand our challenge because in Bahrain, any couples who get married, government will provide him a house. And yes, you need to wait a number of years before getting before your turn come. And I got one. Next week I'm going to shift to my house from flat to house.
That's lovely.
Yeah, this government giving me, and this house giving only to the people who has lower income. Who get good income, they don't get a housing aids. So the Ministry of Housing, he wants to understand what kind of challenges can if this patient need an elevator or an only ground floor or bigger land, and make it faster than others the priority. And not only that, from this relationship, other people, other villages, they realize I have a very good relationship with this minister, so they came to me to solve the community problems in about housing. So it is not related with sickle cell, but this is another side of the advantage of working with the ministers. You don't only solve the sickle cell patient problems, issues, you solve other community. And the community will realize sickle cell will be reliable and trustful to work with. So this will add the value to sickle cell patient in the community. They don't look at the sickle cell patient like he's a sick person. He cannot. Now he can, because he have done this and that. And in the Ministry of Education, he wants, I am in touch in daily basis with him just to see, because we are 9,000, 60% they are in the schooling or in the university. He wants to see number of these patients who face challenges in the schools, how we can help. In the Ministry of Work, he find a work or if he find the jobs, or he fund a loan for sickle cell patient to start on their own business. And the social affair, he worked with me also in finding these people who cannot work totally and they have zero income. And they need a social income, like a support from government. It is another arm. Bahrain Sickle Cell Society today is another arm to the government, a strong arm. We can talk to the people. Usually government works to 2 o'clock afternoon,
Mm.
but we work all the day with the people. People, they accept us at their home.
Mm.
We can go get in and sit with the family. People may don't accept
Mm.
to receive a government people inside their family, but they accept, they allow us to
Mm.
sit and to talk. They accept our advice.
Yeah.
They accept our talk. So that's help a lot. So ministers,
Make
they
it.
use us to improve their quality of work, and I use them to deliver people needs.
Wow. But I have to touch on the watermelon. I, I love
Yeah.
the concept. One of the things I found about you was the watermelon. And I didn't understand what the watermelon meant, but you use it in an emoji, in communications, anytime
Yes.
you talk. And I
Yeah.
had to ask you what this watermelon meant, and you did explain it to me, but I want you to tell other people. And why is it so essential that we incorporate people, especially with people with sickle cell, incorporate that part into their diet if they can?
I, I think watermelon, I like watermelon. This is a fact. We would not talk about it. I like watermelon. But what made me to say this in bold, we are in Bahrain. It is a hot weather. We live from May till end of October. It is a hot weather. So I realized I lose lots of colleagues, sickle cell warrior during summer, during June, July, and August. 50% of what I lose the whole year, I lose it 50% in these 3 months. And people, they say sickle cell patient, they get their attack during winter. Here in Bahrain, they get it during summer because of dehydration. So when I go and ask people and ask family, educate them about drinking water, they told me they face the challenges that their kids hate water. And not only kids, women especially, they keep forgetting to take water because they are busy mind with others. They take care of others, but they never think about themselves. So they escape watering. So this is a problem. And that's why they are getting, uh, unfortunate, cancer because of dehydration. They don't drink enough water. We sit much on a table. Yes, we work, men, but we drink water, we drink coffee, we drink whatever. But women, their hands and their mind is busy working for others, not for herself. They forget to drink water. So I found that watermelon is, everybody likes watermelon. And when we are in the swimming pool, when you bring your lunch or you bring your dinner, nobody will want to get out from the swimming pool to have a dinner or a lunch. But when you bring a small watermelon, you just put one knife on that watermelon, all the people who ever in the swimming pool will get out to have a watermelon. I realized this. So everybody wants to have a watermelon. So the good things to 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 protect and to attack the hydration is watermelon. So I used watermelon. So then I start joking and gifting other patients and other friends watermelon instead of flowers, instead of uh, dish or a plate of food. I said, let's, or chocolate. Let's give them a watermelon and to educate them how to fight dehydration. So then I start receive watermelon instead of flowers during hospital. So one of the amazing story I had, the minister of health minister came and visited me once, and he saw a 6 watermelon. It is there in the shelf where the flower they usually keep.
Mm.
He found the huge watermelon. In Bahrain, watermelon is not a small. It is around 18 to 20 kg. So he found six, 6 or 7 watermelon on the top, and he looked at me and said, "What is this Zakariya? We are not in the central market. This is a watermelon you keep here. This image is not good for the Ministry of Health, because anybody will come and capture this image and will send it to the media. It will impress the minister. That's why he was uh, angry.
Mm.
Why you are keeping this watermelon like here?" Then I said, "Call down your excellency," and I started to explain about watermelon. 2 years after, his driver came to me and with a watermelon and said, "This is from His Excellency Ministry of Health. This is a gift for you." So after the uh, I mean after the visiting our, while I'm hospitalized, I every night I cut a watermelon. We eat a watermelon in the ward.
Wow.
So it is my duty to teach people to drink water.
Yeah.
The best way to drink, one philosophy asked his followers, one guru asked his followers, what is the best way of drinking water? So everybody was giving an answer when he said the best way of drinking water is while you are sitting, the other way where you are lying, where the mugging. Everybody was giving an answer. Then they asked, what you are saying, what is the best? He said the best way of drinking water is to eat it.
Mm.
So eat watermelon. So drink water by eating watermelon.
Oh, that's a wonderful answer. Thank you. Um, Zachary, we've come to the end, but I have one more final question which I must put to you, because in Bahrain, with all the work you've done, you've seen a reduction in the number of sickle cell babies being born. What's your hope for the future for the rest of the world? Because this is an amazing thing you've done in Bahrain. What would your vision be for the rest of the world?
I think what we did in Bahrain is the simple things. I mean, Bahrain, they didn't use more budget. Actually, it reduced their cost, cut budget. I ask everybody in every country to sit together. Sickle cell matter, it's not only about losing the most loved one. It's about to protect our loved one. So a matter of a country, because when I lose family peace, I lose so many things. I need to fix every family by improving the quality of life, quality of health. I'm trying to tell Bahrain story to every country. It may some country will take some part of Bahrain story and to implement this in their country. Decision maker, policy makers, care providers, and the patients and the researchers. One table can bring the peace to families.
Mm.
Then it can escape the death and push the sadness away from these families. families, individuals deserve the joys, deserve the happiness. I think they deserve our efforts to do and to put this. And we need a story like Lady Anne to speak loud and to tell this is pain is not only our destiny, no, it's a fight. You taught us to be a warrior, not a survivor, and to be ready for the next attack, to be ready for next fight. We need more of Lady Anne.
Oh gosh.
And we need more of your story.
Oh, we have your story. So we're truly blessed with your story because you shine light on so many other countries that have not done enough for sickle cell. That you showed us that it's truly possible that if we put our mind to it, that we can live and live a healthy, fulfilling life. Thank you so much, Zakariya, Chairman of the Sickle Cell Society Bahrain, for joining me today. Your story truly inspires me and will keep inspiring many, many more people. Please keep shining, and whatever you're doing, keep staying well because we need you to definitely be here until as long as you want to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. It was my honor. Thank you.
Thank you.